Good evening, Otherworldlies. This is Juliana Angel, your Dark Mask Diva. So, fam, my Otherworldlies, I was on Reddit. Okay, so I'm going to do this video and hopefully not get in trouble. I don't know exactly how I'm going to put this and not get this video taken down. So, let's see how I'm going to put this. Alright, I was on Reddit. So you already know this is going to be a little incendiary. Alright. Some of the videos not videos, but some of the comments I made on there got taken down. And at first I thought when I read this question that it was like kind of a joke or a hoax or something like that. And the more I read it on Reddit, the more I realized it was not a joke. I was reading the comments and talking to OP, the original poster, and it was not a joke. Alright. This young lady has been seeing this guy, and she's kind of feeling demoralized because he likes butt stuff. Alright. First I thought he wanted to do butt stuff to her. No, he likes butt stuff done to him. Alright, so you know what the Dark Mask Diva is thinking. Okay. So, how am I going to put this without getting in trouble? Alright, so he says that he cannot be gratified without having someone doing butt stuff to him. So he talked her into doing some butt stuff to him. Okay? And she said it was pretty extreme butt stuff. It wasn't just a little bit of butt stuff. It was some pretty extreme butt stuff. And she felt more or less coerced into the butt stuff that he got her to do. And it was really freaking weird. Okay, I'll just put it that way. And I don't want to get too descriptive because I don't want this video taken down. And I told her that was some really out of the ordinary kink. And I have heard of it before. But it is really actually out of the ordinary kind of thing. And I said, what he asked you to do actually doesn't sound humanly possible, but the more I read it, the more I was like, you know what, I actually do think that's the truth, but it is like an unusual thing, but he's really, it's really kind of like a rare thing, and she said she felt coerced into doing it, but she felt like weird because he wanted her to do it to him, but she's just like, I feel so grossed out and so dirty and so like, she's like, I just can't deal with this. And I'm thinking, it's really bad when you meet somebody and they can't get off without something that kink that extreme. Alright, she felt coerced, like he coerced her into doing that weird butt stuff. Okay, and I told her, you need to run as fast as you possibly can. Alright, here's the thing. You know what I was thinking? The first thing I was thinking was down low. Okay, and basically I was saying, did he bring up pegging later? She was like, yes. I'm like, okay, here's the thing. You have to wonder what he's doing, what he's not asking you to do yet. Okay, because what he asked her to do was really like, I don't even want to mention it because I don't want the video taken down. It was really like crazy. Okay, so what is he doing with other people? What is he doing when you're not around? Okay. If he wanted you to do all that and he wants you to peg him, okay, Okay, if you didn't do all that stuff, what is he going to ask somebody else to do? Okay, if he wants that extreme of butt play, he's not straight. All right. You really can find somebody else to get to know. I don't know why. I don't know what he told you to get you to do that. And I would really just block and delete and whatever and just not see him again, because she said she felt coerced into doing all that stuff with him. Okay, and of course everybody on the board was making all kinds of like jokes about it and asking her if he was a Muppet and all that kind of stuff. Okay, and making gross jokes. I made a few jokes myself. I couldn't help it. I like to make a lot of play on words. I said a few things. I got in trouble for it. That's why I'm not saying it on the show, even though it was pretty freaking hilarious. I was kind of making fun of the guy. I'm going to talk about like this time, one time before I met Zen. One time I was chatting with this guy, and he told me he was into butt stuff. And I'm like, oh, I'm not into butt stuff at all, like with my butt or anyone else's. So, let me tell you about people who are into extreme kink like this, okay, you guys? And I'm not going to mince words here. They don't live normal lives. All right? If you're that kinky, you can't enjoy a normal life. Let me tell you about this guy who was into butt stuff. Okay, now, I'm not really sure why he liked me so much, because I am not into that stuff at all. Like, at all. I'm not dominant at all in the bedroom. Like, at all. So, I'm not sure why he had such a crush on me. Okay, why he liked me so much, and he was talking to me about the butt stuff so much. Because this was just like some dude that I met, right? So, he had this large collection of apparatus for the butt. Okay, so he was talking about butt stuff all the time. This guy was one of those guys. He said he was like in his late 20s or early 30s. And he said that he'd been a couple with his childhood sweetheart. Like, they started dating in high school and they were still together. And I said, well, what's the deal with that? And he said that they were like in this poly relationship because she would not do the butt stuff with him. And I said, well, you kind of can't blame her for that. But she doesn't care that you do the butt stuff with other people. And he goes, no, because she and I love each other and we would never leave each other, but she won't do that stuff with me. And I was like, well, I'm thinking, well, can you blame her? That's freaking weird. Okay. So, anyway, he had this big crush on me, and he's obsessed with butt stuff. And I don't know why he thought I would want to do that, because I told him just absolutely not. And I said I would never want to do that with myself or anyone else. And I said I am in no way dominant. But he would get he was obsessed with butt stuff. He would get upset because this is like back in the day before I met Zen. He would get upset if I talked about some other guy and I'm like, hey, so-and-so, that guy's cute. Is he seeing anybody? He would get really jealous. Because, I would think some guy was cute or something, and of course the guy wasn't into butt stuff. He was just like some guy. And he'd be like, oh, he went out with so-and-so. So I'd talk to somebody he went out with, like, hey, did you go out with so-and-so? Is he seeing anyone? Is he cool? Or whatever. And I would ask, and they'd be like, yeah, he's cool. I don't think he's seeing anyone. And the dude would get really mad, because I liked the guy that, wasn't into butt stuff. You know, I would ask about some guy that was single or whatever. Like, oh, he's cool, but I heard he's moving or whatever. And I'd be like, oh, that's too bad. He's cute or whatever. You know? And the butt stuff guy would get really mad. Let me tell you about the butt stuff guy. Okay? He could only talk about that. You couldn't have a normal conversation like, oh, guess what? I was at the mall, and guess who works at Hot Topic? Or, oh, I saw a fight in the parking lot. Or, oh, guess what? I went to the store. Or, you know, it was really hot today. Or, yeah, I was out doing such and such today. Or, I cleaned my apartment today. Or, you really couldn't have any normal kind of conversation. The only thing this guy could really talk about was butt stuff. And will you go out with me or won't you go out with me? And if he hit me up to talk to me, he was either trying to get me to come over or he wanted to come to my house. Of course, I wasn't going to let him come to my house. I mean, you know, my place is really small, and, you know, I mean, I didn't want to mess around with him. Like, I was just like, there really isn't anything to do at my house. I'm like, if you want to go to the park or hang out, I go, do you want to go hang out at a restaurant in Color or something like that? Do you want to play Pokemon? Like, his whole thing was, he didn't want to do anything but butt stuff. That's his only, like, one-track mind. His only goal in life was to do butt stuff. Okay, so I explained to the young lady, your boyfriend is never going to be like a normal dude who doesn't want to do that stuff. And the fact that you felt coerced into doing that, that was abusive of him. And people who are into doing weird stuff like that are obsessed with doing weird stuff like that. Okay, and nothing's going to stop him from doing that with a man. Because he likes stuff in his butt. Okay, and I mean, the original poster, she sounded like a nice person. I mean, just, you know, she wasn't being, you know, she wasn't writing abusive things to other people. She was just answering the questions people were asking her. It did not sound like a joke post. It sounded really, I felt bad for her. Okay, and just the fact that I had talked to somebody who was like that, I knew she wasn't making it up. Because I had talked to a guy that was obsessed with that stuff before. And, okay, I understand that some people are kinky. But, this guy really coerced her into doing that weird stuff to him. So, if you're with someone and they want you to do something really weird, say no. Alright? Do not be open to it. Because they're obsessed with it. Okay? And they're not going to be happy unless you do it. Okay, because, of course, I would not do that butt stuff with that guy, right? And he didn't want to be friends with me, and he didn't want to, like, you know, like, hang out, or, you know, like, he would get mad if I liked somebody else. Of course, I like somebody else. I don't, you know, wouldn't like him. He didn't want to, you know, want to do butt stuff. You know, he would be mad if I was attracted to, like, some normal guy, you know, or asked about somebody, or, you know, like, in our circle or whatever, and he just, like, refused to be friends with me because I didn't like him like that. Of course I didn't like him like that. I mean, that grossed me out. Okay, you know, I wanted somebody who didn't want to do stuff like that. You know, I just wanted to go out with someone regular. You know, I'm not like a dominatrix. I'm not the kind of woman who wants to put something in a guy's butt. Okay, you know, I want to, like, go out on a date and talk to somebody and, you know, ask them what their likes and dislikes are and stuff like that. You know, I want to, like, have a regular life with somebody and not put stuff up their butt. So, you know, obviously, you know, This guy was jealous that, I wanted someone who didn't want stuff in their butt. So this other guy just sounded like he was, kind of like emotionally blackmailing this young lady. I'm not sure why somebody has an unrealistic expectation that a normal lady, we don't want to put something up a guy's butt. You usually have to pay somebody to do something like that. That's really an abnormal thing. Women generally don't want to do things like that. Generally. I mean, I haven't met a woman yet that's her goal, to put something up a guy's butt. Not a woman who identifies as a woman. We don't like doing that. Okay, so and I talked to this other guy on the board. He's like, how long have you been on Reddit? And I said, well, I've been an influencer for years. And I'm on other sites, and I do a whole lot of things on the internet. So I've been at this for years. I go, I've been on Reddit for less than 2 weeks. And he goes, oh my God. He goes, I've been here for 2 years. You've been on here for how long? And I go, like 10 or 11 days. And he goes, and you already ran into a question like this, and you've been talking to OP like all, you've had all this interaction. And I go, yeah, but most of the things I've said I got in trouble for and got removed from the board. And he goes, well, the stuff you said was pretty funny. And I go, I wasn't trying to be rude. I said, yeah, I did crack a few jokes. Okay, but I go, mostly I'm trying to make her feel better and let her know what he did was psychologically damaging to her. And she should not feel like she needs to do something like that just to be in a relationship with somebody. That's weird. What he asked her to do was really strange. It's so weird, I'm just even afraid to say it. Okay. I wasn't even, when I was reading it, I wasn't even sure if it was biologically possible. But apparently it is. So, yeah. So people who are preoccupied with a level of kink like that, once they get into something like that, that's really all they can think about and talk about. And that's what this one guy was like. And they get mad that you're not into it. They're the abnormal ones, but they get mad that you don't want to do it if they're attracted to you and they like you. But you're the normal one, but they get mad if they like you and you don't want to. And that how dare you want to go out with somebody normal, and that you like somebody else. Oh no. Okay, so if somebody starts saying they like stuff like that, don't hang out with them anymore. If you meet them online, it's even better. You can block them and delete them and everything. I knew this guy in person, so I just stopped hanging out with him. And people that were close to him, and that was real easy. I make friends easy and stuff like that. And then the pandemic hit, and then it became super easy to just kind of keep a low profile, you know what I mean? But it was just kind of dude, how are you going to get mad at me that I don't want to do that? I mean, seriously. Have you found a lot of people that said yes to that? Are you serious? You actually offended that I said no? Wow. You were expecting me to say yes to that? Are you serious? Come on now. So, yeah, that's just crazy. So, anyway, I really hope that she's gotten rid of him by now. That topic's still up. I can go back and check on it and see if she has gotten rid of him. It kind of looks like she has. And you know, she can almost press charges because he did coerce her. So I think that is really disgusting of him. But people who are into weird stuff like that, they will go to great lengths to pressure people into doing things that they find objectionable, things that make other people feel bad about themselves. Someone wants you to do something you don't feel comfortable doing, even if it doesn't physically hurt you. Say no. Okay? Because you can feel really dirty afterwards, even if it doesn't physically hurt you. If it makes you feel grossed out, say no. Okay? So, yeah. So hopefully I won't get in trouble for this. And I don't think I quite said what it was. And hopefully we're all adults here and we could figure out what it is, what it was. And yuck. So I love you all, otherworldies, and I hope you have a wonderful evening. And this world is a strange place. And I hope you guys have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.